created everything. Look what a powerful being you are. You did these things, but now you're in a human body, you forget the power you have.
What you do is what the whole universe is doing at the place you call here and now. You are something the whole universe is doing in the same way that a wave is something that the whole ocean is doing.
You're doing it.
Doing what?
Using your imagination.
Welcome to Meta Mysteries, where you don't know what you don't know. My name is Jonathan.
I'm Sean.
I was getting ready to say where you don't know what you don't fucking know, but
You really don't.
I decided to pull back
really
a little
don't.
bit.
You should have went for it. You should have went for it. I had your back on that.
Well, and this is going to be a great example of not knowing what you don't know. This is something that we've brought up before in the past, but we never really quite understood it fully, at least not to the level that we're trying to get to tonight. So tonight...
Dude, before you bringing it up, dude, I've never heard of it at all. You know?
Yeah.
Surely there's astrology, but I've never heard of this until you mentioned it, so...
Yeah, it's fascinating, and this is actually going to be... You know who taught me about this was we had a guy come on to the Cult of Conspiracy a couple years ago, and I've been trying to get him on Meta, but he's like super booked up right now, so shout out Athen Commenti. But he does Sidereal Astrology, and it is freaking awesome. The way he describes it, it makes the most sense. If you are trying to get an accurate reading of what is going on in the sky, there is no more accurate way to do it with the stars as they are in the sky right now, not from 130 BC, whenever, because that's how tropical astrology is mapped. It's literally the same constellations with no shift, no earth wobble, no nothing in tropical astrology as it was in 130 BC. Now, a fun little bit of information I didn't really know, mainly to be honest, because I don't know exactly what the shape of the Earth is or what this whole planet is made of.
Are we still doing that?
And not necessarily to say it's flat. I mean, I'm not going to say I've graduated from that. I believe that that it's probably more of a matrix, but that doesn't mean that it's not real in a sense. Whether it is a hologram, whether it's all a simulation, maybe it is a giant ball floating in space. It could be all three. Maybe it's none of them.
At least what we perceive, you know what I mean? Surely there could be other things going on outside of the realm of what we could possibly even see, you know? But, I mean, as far as what I can see, it seems spherical, but you know what I mean?
And that's what's fascinating about this conversation, because it kind of implies that it would be spherical. I mean, he won't say that. I think that he'll say that it applies to both, but just with my general understanding of sidereal astrology, I mean, it's either a globe, a physical globe, or an orb of sorts, or it's something spherical, from what I can tell from this. So that's not what the show's about today.
I feel like a lot of the whole flat Earth stuff comes from biblical times, and when they talked about the Earth and the heavens was literally the sky or the dome, you know, or and even other belief systems where there was seven heavens or whatever, and so the top one was the actual firmament.
Yeah,
you know, and so they had no understanding of the actual outer space aspect of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the Bible it talks about the firmament. Then you got Warner von Braun. He has Psalms, I think it was 1911, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. That talks about what was it? God showeth his handiwork with the firmament above, or something like that. And that was on his tombstone. And you're like, this guy was one of the more modern fathers of rocketry, which also, I mean, ex-Nazi,
weird, quick.
He was an ex-Nazi and brought over paperclip, and it got a little weird. But anyway, that's not what this is about today. We're talking about reading the stars as they are. If you were to go outside and you were to look up right now, I didn't know this. I thought that tropical astrology, that whenever I look at my sun sign, which in tropical astrology, I'm a Taurus, right? I was always proud of the fact that I was a Taurus. I got a fucking Taurus tattoo. I wanted to look like The Rock with the Brahma bull on the arm and everything, right? Like, that was my idol growing up, and I was like, oh, I actually got a reason to look like him now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Come to find out, that constellation, that sun sign, Taurus, is not right.
It's off.
And most people's zodiac is incorrect according to this sidereal astrology. So we're going to get a little weird today, and you don't have to accept it. It's just an alternative view. This is actually so there's many different types of astrology, but these are the three main ones that I'm about to name right now. So you have tropical astrology, which everybody in the Western culture
The
usually
most common
uses.
that we understand. Yep.
Right. Then you have Vedic astrology, which is what the Indians use over in India, right?
Okay.
And then there is Athen Kementi's version, which is sidereal astrology. And because the difference between Vedic and sidereal, I actually thought that they were the same for the longest time.
The moon and the sun, or
They're not exactly the same. Because in Vedic astrology, they use a version of sidereal, but they still have the constellations at exactly 30 degrees per each constellation.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
anybody that looks up in the sky, there are way bigger constellations. There are way smaller constellations when we're talking about the zodiacs of the sky. Anybody that's ever seen Scorpio? Scorpio is the smallest constellation. Only takes up 7%. Why are we giving it 30?
Right.
Makes no sense.
Exactly. So not all constellations are equal in that regard. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. And some are way bigger. I believe, I want to say Virgo's the biggest one. We're going to get into it today.
Yep.
We're going to get, hopefully it's not going to be upsetting to a lot of people whenever you find out that you're
shattering our reality, dude.
Yeah. I shatter my
That's
own.
what we're here for, though, I think.
Dude, if I don't wake up and shatter my own reality on a daily basis, I'm doing it wrong.
Something's going
You know?
on.
That's just what it's about.
Yeah.
So, all right. Firstly, I do want to get over to actually Athen Kementi's website. And I wanted to do this show before we got him on so we can actually ask him questions rather than just him going over the regular stuff that, you know, I wanted to be prepared whenever we had that show with him.
Perfect.
And so this is actually his website. So shout out Athen. It's called masteringthezodiac.com. And you can actually submit to him to have your like perfect chart done. And he does it. He doesn't even run it through a system. He does it on his own. So it's as perfect as it gets.
Legit.
Bro.
Yeah.
And so it's actually called true sidereal astrology because Vedic is also called sidereal. It's like Vedic sidereal or something like that. This is true sidereal. And this, what he means by true is that each constellation is the exact degree that it actually is in the sky. So it's true to form.
It's accurate. Right.
He goes, almost everything online and in the West uses a system called tropical astrology. Most people aren't aware that tropical astrology does not use the visible sky. Instead, it uses the seasons. Roughly 2,000 years ago, the constellations in the sky matched the seasons. The sun was in Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, during the spring equinox. But the stars have changed position since then. Today, the sun is in Pisces, not Aries, during the spring equinox. There is now a difference of up to 2 zodiac signs between tropical astrology and the visible sky. Up to 2. That's where it gets weird. Right. And I would imagine that's probably for the Scorpio since it's so damn small. But even still, I mean, imagine you're 2 off. Like, that's crazy. So, for example, mainstream astrology might say someone's sun is in Leo, while the sun is actually in Cancer. True sidereal astrology maintains the link between ourselves and the sky by using the stars as they truly are. Thanks to technology, we can now see the visible sky in astrological chart form. With the internet, true sidereal astrology is gaining widespread adoption. Many now believe this is the most accurate form of astrology because it uses what is actually in the sky, a system that we have been using far longer than the past 2,000 years.
It's going to be so interesting. It's going to be so interesting to find out, you know, how many of us have different signs and then going forward looking at them and going, holy shit, this is way more accurate than any other sign that I've ever read or, you know, chart, if you will.
Yeah, it's going to get pretty wild. And I do have all of those dates pulled up. So for anybody that is curious, and also I did want to say, anybody that is still here at the end of the show before meditation, we will give a sidereal astrology reading. Just to throw it out there. If you're interested in it. I got me and Sean's already because I got his birthday and his time and all that stuff. So if you want one, I'm going to need your full name, your date of birth, the city that you were born, and the exact time that you were born in the location that you were born.
And your social security number.
And then we're gonna come find you. So don't even trip. Don't even worry about it.
And
It doesn't have to be on the show, I guess. You know what I mean? We could delete that.
And your routing and account number.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Anyway, and before we get to the rest of it, Taylor said, "What's up, weirdos? Hope y'all have had a good week so far." We have.
Yes.
It's been a solid week. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I've been preparing for this show for over a week now.
Dude, you've been talking about doing the sidereal astrology for quite a while, dude. Like several months. If not half a year, I think.
Well, it's strange because you align with a certain zodiac for all your life, and then like you go and read that you're not that, and then you become obsessed with what, sidereal astrology says that you are, and you're like, why does this make more sense?
Yeah.
What is with this?
That's going to be interesting. Oh, yeah. I already told my wife, she's a Taurus, but I was like, I think you're an Aries, according to sidereal. And she's like, no, I'm a Taurus. And I was like, all right, well, we'll talk later.
That's the ego talking.
So,
Okay? That's the ego.
She's trying to hold on.
She hasn't had one of those ego deaths yet.
That's right. That's coming. That's coming.
211 said, I'm a Taurus. I also have a Taurus tattoo. Yeah, buddy. Dude, I'm pretty proud. I'm not going to get rid of it by any means. It's just my old self now,
Right. You're evolving, dude.
Yeah, that was pre-ego death, I think.
Yes.
Taylor
now
said,
you've incorporated the shadow,
Yeah, Taylor said, Taurus gang, 211 said, May 5th, baby, Cinco de Mayo. I'm actually May 8th. Ooh. It's Ocho de Mayo, okay?
Oh,
that's how I roll.
In the words of Jacob, yee. On that one,
yee. Nick said Aquarius gang, but probably a Capricorn and sidereal. Yeah.
Or Aries, right? Or no. What was it?
No, you would be Capricorn. We're going to get to
Capricorn.
it, though. It's going to be so much fun.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. Sidereal, where science meets spirit. This is what we've been talking about. Okay, we're trying to not necessarily go full-blown spiritual, full-blown mythological. We want to have our head in the cloud, but our gravity centered. I think that is what is needed, because there are some people that literally think that they are God's gift and everything that comes out of their mouth is prophecy. And I just can't with those people. Okay, so we got to have some kind of middle path here. All right,
we're trying to hemi sync it.
We got
to merge them together.
We're merging them together. All right, Nick, I'm not talking about you. I love you, brother. You know who I'm talking about, though. Anyhow, not to get too specific, but all right. So astrology has always been about seeing patterns in the heavens and finding meaning in their reflection here on Earth. But what if the map we've been using is off by nearly an entire sign? What if the bridge between the spiritual and the scientific, the right brain and the left brain, has been sitting above our heads this whole time, waiting for us to look exactly where it is? True sidereal astrology is not just a belief system; it's an astronomical reality. Unlike tropical astrology, which locks signs to the seasons, or Vedic sidereal, which divides each sign into 30-degree slices, true sidereal uses the actual constellations in the sky, their true sizes, measured with the midpoint method. This means the zodiac in your chart matches the same stars you'd see if you'd look up with a planetarium app tonight. When we honor the real positions of the planets, we unite the mystic's intuition with the astronomer's data. It's the meeting point of two worlds, a balanced mind fully awaked.
Here we go.
Let's go, dude. Let's go.
That being said, then there has to be way less Scorpios than we even thought. Not just, or just mathematically. There has to be way fewer Scorpio even possible.
Well, it's strange too. Well, so it's the smallest. We're gonna get to that. So it's tied for the smallest, actually. And the reason why it's so small is because they actually have there are 13 signs in sidereal astrology. So you have your main 12, your Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Scorpio, and then also Ophiuchus. So
Okay.
What they did was, I believe, because Scorpio and Ophiuchus are right next to each other, and they're the two smallest. So I believe that, traditional astrology would just call that one altogether Scorpio, but within true sidereal astrology, it's divided into two different ones. So that's why you have Scorpio and Ophiuchus both at 13 degrees total.
Okay.
So
Right.
of the entire sky. So, but we're going to get to that. So, the core difference between tropical, Vedic, and true sidereal. So, tropical astrology uses it fixes 0 degrees Aries in the spring equinox, which is March 21st, ignoring Earth's axial wobble. So, Earth, she's a fat bottom girl. She got a little wobble to her.
Got a
All
little
right,
wobble.
and she's not always walking a straight path.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes the hips just go from side to side.
It is what it is, dude.
Yeah. So there's going to be a little bit of wobble, which tropical astrology does not account for. Then there is your common sidereal, which would be Vedic. There's also a couple other ones. There's one that's called Lahiri, and then one that's called Fagan Bradley. They're just two different types of sidereal. These adjust for precession, but still divides each sign into equal 30-degree portions. So it accounts for the wobble, but not for the percentage.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Still holding on. Yeah.
True sidereal, using the midpoint method, uses the real constellation boundaries in the sky with each sign reflecting its true astronomical size. Because of precession, precession is that wobble, right? Which causes us to go out of line every so often, so because of the precession, which is 1 degree drift for every 72 years. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So it's drifting 1 degree every 72 years. Seems minute, but over the course of 2,000 years, it's a lot. Okay. So with the precession, 1 degree drift every 72 years, tropical signs are now about 24 degrees ahead of where the constellations really are.
Right.
So this is why you're getting the main difference, because of that precession.
That makes sense.
And because constellations are not equal in size, even the Lahiri style sidereal still isn't fully accurate. True sidereal fixes both problems. So we're going to learn a little bit more about this today.
All right.
So so how the precession changed the sky. It says Earth's axis wobbles in a 25,772 year cycle.
Oh.
So a full wobble instead of just 1 degree, a full wobble every 25,772 years. So that's whenever you get the full 360. I believe that would be the math.
Okay.
Don't check me on that. Shifting the equinoxes in relation to the constellations. Tropical astrology, in quotes, froze the sky as it was in 130 BC, while sidereal continually updates. So true sidereal plus the midpoint method lets us track the drift precisely. Instead of locking signs to the seasons or assuming equal 30-degree divisions, it honors the real and living sky. When you check your true sidereal chart, you're seeing exactly what you'd see if you stepped outside and looked up tonight. So now we're going to get to the real degrees of each constellation, just so you can kind of get a good idea about how big and how small each of the constellations are.
Yep.
And also the dates as well. Yeah. So the dates, I'll show you where the dates change to.
Okay.
So let's see. So Aries, this is true sidereal astrology, the dates on it. So Aries runs from April 21st to May 11th. If your birthday falls in between there, you're in Aries. The approximate size of Aries is 20 degrees. So it's, regular, it's actually one of the smaller ones, if I'm looking at it correctly. Yeah.
Interesting.
One of
my
the
wife,
smaller ones.
My wife definitely is an Aries then.
When's her birthday?
I'll let her know. Confirmed. April 22nd.
April. Yeah, she's an Aries. Actually, it's funny, though, because it says, and we're going to get to it, but it says the way that he reads it is that if your birthday falls within 3 days, he considers you both of them.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right.
Right, right. And mine falls within 4 days, so I'm firmly in Aries, I guess.
All right, man.
So Taurus runs from May 11th to June 18th, and that approximate size is 38 degrees. So that is the fourth largest, actually.
Be a big one. Yep.
Gemini runs from June 18th to July 19th at 31 degrees. Cancer runs from July 19th to August 6th at 17 degrees. It's one of the smaller ones. Leo runs from August 6th to September 15th at 39 degrees. Virgo is the biggest one. So Virgo runs September 15th to November 4th at 50 degrees. Libra, yeah, it's a big one.
Right.
Libra runs November 4th to November 23rd at 19 degrees in the sky. Scorpio is November 23rd to December 6th at 13 degrees. Ophiuchus is December 6th to December 19th at 13 degrees. Weezer.
All right.
And Sagittarius runs from December 19th to January 21st. So see, you're on what is called the cusp, Luisa. So I guess you're a bit of both
cusp
between Ophiuchus and Sagittarius.
And that's give or take 3 days, right?
Up to 3 days.
Oh, up to 3 days.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
All
so.
right.
Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what I remember of it. So Ophiuchus is December 6th through December 19th at 13 degrees. Sagittarius is December 19th to January 21st. It represents 33 degrees. Capricorn is January 21st to February 15th at 25 degrees in the sky. Aquarius is February 15th to March 9th at 22 degrees in the sky. And Pisces is March 9th to April 21st at 42 degrees in the sky. That's a big one too. That's the second biggest one is Pisces, which actually is interesting because during the time of Jesus, if what true sidereal astrology shows that during the time of Jesus up until really recent, as of the last few years ago, they believe, Athens believes that we have been in Pisces this entire time.
Okay.
It wasn't until I believe either 2020 or 2022 that we started to shift into Aquarius, according to true sidereal astrology.
Wow. And how long does that go as far as like Pisces coming back? Because maybe that's what they meant all along, Jesus coming back.
So it actually goes in reverse. So typically our seasons, the way it starts at the spring equinox, right? So that would be Aries, the spring equinox of April 21st, around that time. Pisces is the last constellation. But the thing with the changing of the times is that it runs backwards. So instead of it going from Pisces to Aries, it actually goes from Pisces to Aquarius.
Right.
So it's going in reverse up the chart.
Okay.
Which is pretty
they've been
interesting.
saying that for a long time, the age of Aquarius. So
Yeah, we're going to be getting a little bit more into that too. So it says, notice how Virgo is massive, spanning nearly 2 months. So Virgo, what was that? September 15th to November 4th. So was that a little bit more than 6 weeks? So it spans nearly 2 months, while Scorpio is tiny, which is only 13 days. So yeah, in that case, Scorpio people would be pretty rare.
just fewer of them, right?
Which is probably a good thing if we're being honest here.
Yeah, it probably is. There's something to it.
This explains why so many people resonate with Virgo or Scorpio energy differently than tropical astrology suggests. So now we're going to get into the next part. So we're going to understand the planets in true sidereal astrology, because it's one thing for somebody to say that your moon is in fucking Virgo or whatever, but what does that even mean? What do the planets even represent? This is something that I've never personally understood. Very minimal amounts. Like I know what the sun sign means, maybe the moon sign, but that's about it.
Yeah, we're gonna try tonight.
We're gonna give it the old college try tonight. Even though I only went to college for about 2 weeks and I dropped out.
Yeah.
But
Just
look at
looking
me
for you,
now,
man.
Mom. Okay, look at me now. I'm just kidding.
It worked out.
So, understanding the planets in true sidereal astrology, planets. Okay, remember these. These are the three things that you need to remember whenever you're trying to read your own chart.
Okay.
Planets show us what is happening. Signs show us how it's happening. And houses show us where it's happening.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We're going to break that down a little bit more later,
All right.
just to as a precursor.
Yeah.
So it says planets are the actors, and in true sidereal, they're placed exactly where they appear in the real night sky. So what they mean by the actor is that, like, what role is this planet playing?
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean? Is it giving the Grinch, you know what I mean? Like, is it giving the Mask if we're using Jim Carrey kind of, roles here? So the sun represents purpose, vitality, and life essence. So whatever your sun sign is, Sean, you're now a Capricorn. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. But that's funny because I'm also, as far as what you were reading earlier, on the 15th, because that's my birthday, it's both of them.
Oh, you're on the
it's
cusp.
Capricorn. I'm on, it equates for both of them.
Which makes sense,
yeah.
I think.
Interesting.
So
We'll find out, when we look into it. I'm really curious.
Yeah, we're gonna find it all out. So the sun represents purpose, vitality, and life essence. The moon sign represents emotions, instincts, and subconscious.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh my God, Taylor, you said your birthday is May 8th? We share a birthday. Shout out.
Nice.
What are the odds? 1 in 365, I think.
I think
Unless it was a leap year.
Right.
So anyhow, in 1990, we were born the same exact day on the same exact year. What are the odds?
Holy, in Lake Havasu.
No, get out of here. If you say you were born in Lake Havasu, I'm gonna that would be hilarious, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna be like,
She's also wearing
did you
a
know?
Hawaiian shirt.
yeah,
It's getting weird.
Yeah, she has a servitor necklace made by Lord Byron Jester.
Yes. Marv is in there.
Oh, Colorado. That's still pretty damn close. Colorado, right next to Arizona. That's not that far.
Yeah.
So the sun and the moon. So the moon represents emotions, instincts, and subconscious. Mercury. So if your sign is in Mercury, that means that Mercury represents thought, speech, and logic. Okay. Venus represents love, beauty, and relationships. Yeah. That's why they always say women are from Venus.
Mm-hmm.
Because
They do say that.
yeah, they got the love and the beauty. Mars represents energy, aggression, and passion.
Tracks.
Jupiter means expansion, teaching, and prosperity. Jupiter's always usually a good thing. From what I understand. That might have just been one of the dumbest things anybody said. Jupiter's usually a
No,
good
I don't
thing.
think so. That's it's fine. It's good. We'll take it.
Hey, you don't know what
Not
you don't
the
know.
dumbest thing we've ever said, though. For sure.
Guaranteed
No.
not. No, there's no
No
way.
way.
That's all we say. We are not the teachers here. We're just showing you what we found.
Yep.
So Saturn represents discipline, karma, and limitation. Uranus, or as some people may call it, Uranus, would be rebellion, technology, and awakening.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Neptune is actually a pretty interesting one. It represents illusion, spirituality, and imagination. All three of those grouped together.
I like it. I'll take it. Give it to me.
Yeah, remind me to like really focus on that Neptune one later.
And so, real quick, just to verify, just make sure I'm on track with what you're saying. This is when you were born, as far as that planet that's lined up with everything, or is it constantly evolving and you can constantly check what planet you're feeding off of, or are you sure of what? How that works?
It's only shifting 1 degree every 72 years. So in your entire lifetime, it's
basically throughout your whole life.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, maybe within a half a degree, getting crazy, but a half a degree is not going to sway it one way or another.
No, I'm glad this makes it easier for me. So.
Right.
Cool.
Let's see. So Neptune is illusion, spirituality, and imagination. And then you have Pluto, finally, which would be transformation and death, rebirth cycles. Death and rebirth cycles.
That's a heavy one.
Yeah, nobody wants to talk about that one.
Science trying to get rid of it too. So there's something to it.
To quote Carl Sagan, he said, "The cosmos is within us."
Indeed.
So let's pay
Indeed it
attention to the fucking stars then, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Nextly, we're going to be talking about the luminaries and their importance. So the sun is your conscious identity. So whatever your sun sign is, that's obviously everybody knows that's your main sign, right?
Okay.
The part of you that seeks recognition. So the moon is your emotional core, your instinctual reactions, and your private self, the shadow self, if you will.
All right.
So with true sidereal placements, your luminaries reflect not a symbolic chart from 2,000 years ago, but the exact stars above your birthplace. This makes emotional and life direction readings more exact and visceral, he says.
This is gonna be really cool to look at, dude. I'm so excited to see
it's gonna be sick.
What it all means, man.
It's gonna be sick. And it's not to take away from tropical. I think because tropical, as it was saying, it's not necessarily based upon the stars. It's based upon the seasons. So it doesn't completely wipe away tropical all the way, and you should never look into it ever again. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that if you're trying to be exact as you possibly can, there is no better way than true sidereal.
That's what I'm doing. I'm wiping away tropical. That's just me, though. You know,
I am too. Yeah.
On to the new.
Fuck you, Taurus. Still love you, Taurus. Anyway, all right. So this is, you ever hear when people say that there was a conjunction or something is squared or something's opposition or something is trine or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Never understood what these meant up until now. Okay.
All right.
So what they mean when they say conjunction, that means that it's 0 degrees apart. So if you have, actually, we're going to give an example here. So that means if something is conjunct, that means that the energies of the planets are fused together. So for an example, Mars in conjunction with Venus in Taurus blends passion with sensuality.
Oh, okay.
So conjunction just means they are completely fucking overlapped.
All right.
Okay, kind of like a eclipse, I believe.
Yeah.
Then you have trine, which is 120 degrees apart. So with trine, if somebody says that, something is trine, it means harmonious support. An example would mean your moon in Cancer is trine Neptune in Pisces, would mean heightening intuition. That seems like a lot. I promise you it's a lot easier than you think it is.
Okay.
And so we're going to break it down a little bit more later. So square would be 90 degrees apart, which would be tension and challenge. I'm not going to even give any more examples because I can already tell that people's heads are spinning with that. And mine is too, actually.
Mine, yeah.
So just to go back, conjunct means 0 degrees apart. Trine means 120 degrees apart. That would be harmonious support. So they're supporting each other, the planets are. Okay. Whenever they are square, which is 90 degrees apart, there's tension and challenge.
Okay.
Square is not usually something you look forward to.
Right. Okay.
Because that's for squares, So just remember it like that. Like that's for squares, not for me.
Right.
I wanted to be trine or possibly conjunct. And then there's opposition, which is 180 degrees apart. It makes sense. Opposition, opposite end of the pole.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. Got that one.
So if it's in opposition, that means polarized energies that are seeking balance. So let's go a little bit farther. The more I say, the more easy it becomes to understand.
All right, take us there.
I tried to make it as simple as I possibly could in my own terms. So I'm somebody, I need to read something like 100 times to understand it. And so this is me trying to break it down 100 times in the easiest possible way.
All right.
All right. So then you get to retrogrades. Everybody's always worried about Mercury in retrograde, right?
Yeah. I don't even know what I'm worried about, dude, but I'm a little worried now.
I know. So retrogrades, it's actually an optical illusion because the planets are not in retrograde actually. It just looks like they are. So retrogrades are when a planet appears to move backward due to the Earth's orbit. They encourage review, rethinking, and integration. So in true sidereal, retrograde cycles match the actual observable sky, giving more precision in timing lessons of reflection. So, that's a good thing. You would want to know whenever, Mercury's going in retrograde or something like that, exactly to the day. So maybe you don't, I don't know, maybe you don't get on a plane whenever Mercury's in retrograde or whatever you may be
Right.
worried about, you know?
And I wonder if that goes along with what we've covered before as far as the red shift, blue shift. You know, if the planet is moving away from you, then the wavelengths of the light would be kind of stretched out, right? And they'd be longer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's dude, it's funny you brought that up. I was just hearing somebody else talk about that earlier. But yeah, whenever so if you have like an angel or an alien or something like that, and they're trying to come down to meet you on your level, meaning they have to lower their vibration, they have to
Red shift, right?
red shift, yeah, and we have to blue shift
Yeah.
to go up in vibration. It's complicated, but it makes sense. So yeah, that's retrogrades being the optical illusion. They're not actually moving backward. It just seems that way.
Okay. All right.
To quote Marcus Aurelius, he said, "The obstacle is the way. Don't avoid
Love
it. Don't jump over it. It is the way.
Embrace it.
Embrace it." What I love about Sidereal is that it also includes Rahu and Ketu. These are the north node and the south node. And what they represent is actually the head of the dragon and the tail of the dragon, which I thought was pretty interesting because, Sean, you literally just asked me this earlier, and I couldn't wait to tell you about this. You asked me what I thought about what was it?
The nodes, right?
Well, no, you asked me about what do you believe as far as a third of the angels, a third of the stars getting swept out of the sky.
Like, what is that like symbolically, if you were to look at it that way?
And we're going to do a whole show on it, but I thought that this was interesting because it was swept out of the sky like a tail, right? Something like that. But if you look over here, you have, go ahead, Nick. What are your thoughts on that?
If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, that whole verse in general about like Satan taking a third of the angels or whatever, it doesn't even say angels. It says stars, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so essentially stars in that sense are equated to angels, but like literally the verse says that a third of the stars were taken out of the heavens, and then you have to assume or imply the context, right? Of what you're supposed to think that it means based on what it is, implying that the stars represent angels, or you could even go as too far as to say that stars are angels at that point.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if a third of them were, taken by Satan or whatever, or Lucifer or whatever. So, but just that fact alone is just interesting to think about. If stars are angels, then where does that mean?
Right. Where did a third of them go?
Yeah, that and just
Right.
How we look at stars in general is, if you want to apply that to them, it should also give some, I don't know, second thought too, I guess.
And there's a lot of different interpretations of that throughout all the different mythologies that kind of are saying a little bit about the same thing. I actually started working on that show because Sean asked me about it, and I was like, dude, that sounds like an awesome show, but we already had one put together for tonight. I'm just obsessed with researching this shit, so I just went balls deep on it. And from what I can tell, almost every mythology talks about that situation.
Okay.
Which is
All right.
interesting, right?
Of course it does.
Nothing new under the sun, as they say.
No, dude.
So getting back over to the lunar nodes. So these are the lunar nodes. Rahu and Ketu, Rahu, and Ketu, which is Ketu. So Rahu, which is the north node, is the head of the dragon, symbolizing desire, ambition, and karmic direction. Always hungry and never satisfied. So whenever we do one of the readings later after the show, before the meditation, you're gonna find out what all of your planets and all your zodiacs are and stuff like that. But it's also going to include where your Rahu is and where your Ketu is.
Interesting. I wonder if that's like representative of a black hole. You know what I mean? It's always hungry, just kind of eating everything up, dude.
Sounds like it.
Know.
Yeah, sounds like it. And then, of course, there is Ketu, which is the south node. It says Ketu is the tail of the dragon, symbolizing past life mastery and detachment, blind to the material, seeking liberation. So basically the exact opposite of the North Node, right? But they both symbolize something. It's the dragon, the head, and the tail. So
And as far as we know, real quick, not to cut you off, are these things that we can actually observe in the sky, or are they more etheric?
I'm actually not sure. It depends on who you ask, but I've heard it mentioned that so if you talk about like the eclipses and stuff like that, some people believe that, the sun isn't going in front of the earth to shadow the moon or whatever is going on during a lunar or solar eclipse. They believe, and this is actually Crow 777 brings this up. He believes that an eclipse is not an eclipse by the three planets that we're talking about with the sun, moon, and the earth. He believes that it's actually the nodes that are playing a role as for shadowing the sun or shadowing the moon.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right.
It's a fun way of looking at it. I don't know if it's for real or not. That's just a theory that I heard.
Okay. All right.
So together with Rahu and Ketu, they form the karmic axis, your soul's history, which is Ketu, and the destiny, which is Rahu. Oh, the history. That's why I was talking about your past life, meaning Ketu, and then your destiny, what's to come, which makes sense because that would be Rahu. That's the head of the dragon. It doesn't know yet. It hasn't been there. So it's the destiny, right?
Okay.
So true sidereal pinpoints their real positions, giving sharper insights into life missions. And to quote Aristotle, he said, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom."
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Know thyself.
That's what they say, dude.
All right. And so as for the 12 houses in true sidereal astrology, you have houses 1 through 12. Remember what we were saying as to what the houses meant. So a house shows you where it's happening.
Okay.
All right. So the houses in true sidereal astrology, each house governs a realm of life. Okay. So the first house, if you have something in the first house, and you'll see this within astrology that, you have so-and-so in the third house or whatever, right? Maybe you have Jupiter in the fifth house or something like that. So then you would take the meaning of what Jupiter means and then combine it with what the house means, right?
Okay. All right.
So each house governs a realm of life. So the first house would be these are actually pretty interesting. So the first house represents self and appearance. Second house is money and values. The third house is communication and siblings. The fourth house is home and roots. The fifth house is creativity and children. The sixth house is work and health. The seventh house is partnerships. The eighth house is sex and transformation. Let's see. The ninth house is philosophy and travel. The 10th house is career and reputation. The 11th house is community and goals. And then finally, the 12th house is spirituality and hidden matters.
Makes sense, dude.
So, and we're going to go back whenever we actually do our charts. That'll be something that we go back to so we know, what houses is what,
Cross-reference.
A little cheat sheet.
Sure. I think we might need to. Yeah.
I mean,
anytime anybody's ever talked about the whole house thing and all that, I'm like, I kind of check out. I feel like it starts to get too confusing,
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the same thing. Even with tarot, we've been working it for over 2 years and we don't remember what each card means.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Some
people are really good at it though, man.
Dude.
Good. I mean, they just look at a card, they're like, oh, like they know something. I'm like, tell me what, because I have no idea.
I actually bought one of those decks that has it's like a cheat sheet on the deck. So it'll tell you like on the card. And so it'll tell you like, oh, this is the sun card. This is what it means right side up. This is what it means reversed. Right. It's pretty cool. So, and what I've been trying to do to try and understand tarot even more is I'll actually do several readings a day, except for, let's say, I don't know, how's my day going to go? Give me a 1 card. Right.
Right.
Or, how's my week going to go? Give me another card. How's my year going to go? Give me another card or whatever. And you can get real crazy with it. And usually pinpoint accurate, bro.
Right.
Like it's spooky how accurate.
Yeah, dude.
That's because we're communicating with the devil.
That's right. Yeah. He knows everything, dude.
Oh boy. Not communicating with the devil for anybody that didn't see my face on
That's
that.
what people think though.
Yeah. So
At least we don't think so. So fingers crossed.
I don't think so. Pretty sure I'm not. Never got that feeling. So yeah, that would be what the 12 houses in true sidereal astrology mean. So order, to quote Alexander Pope, he said, order is heaven's first law.
Okay.
Okay. So the cultural roots, Vedic astrology versus true sidereal astrology. So Vedic astrology uses, to kind of go over what we were talking about a little bit more earlier. So it uses sidereal, but divides into 30-degree equal slices, predictive, karma-focused, and deeply spiritual. So there's nothing wrong with tropical or Vedic astrology or anything like that. It's just different interpretations of what the stars are actually showing you. Right. Then there's true sidereal astrology using midpoint. It uses the actual constellation size. It updates the boundaries, and it's planetarium verified. So a system revived and modernized by Athen Clemente. So shout out to him again.
All right.
I do want to get him on the show. We are definitely going to make that happen.
Yeah, we got to. I really dig the sidereal already, just because of how tangible it is, and like in real time it is.
Yeah,
I really like that.
Yeah, it's really neat. It is really neat.
We always call the sky the sky clock. Let's let it be a good one, right?
I mean,
an accurate one.
You would want your clock to be accurate,
right?
So both of them, between Vedic and true sidereal, both honor the real sky, but true sidereal gives us the exact star map, unfiltered by equal divisions. So now we're going to get into the why true sidereal is the real sky map. True sidereal astrology reconciles mysticism and science. It doesn't ask us to abandon myth, only to place myth back into the sky as it truly is. If you think about it, the people that created tropical astrology back in 130 BC, technically, they're using true sidereal at that moment. If you really think about it.
Yeah, at that time, that's what we have now, only back then. Right.
It was true to them.
Shifted since then.
It was true to them, and I guarantee you.
Well, minus the degrees, right? Because were they treating them equally, or was it based on how long they were in the sky?
Oh, good point. Yeah, good point.
So maybe like they were almost there.
They were close.
Right.
They almost had it.
Yeah. We'll give them credit for that, though.
I'll give you a couple. So the system represents. This system, as far as true sidereal, it represents the middle path, satisfying the soul's need for archetype and the mind's demand for accuracy. So this is where I've been trying to go, or we've been trying to go here a lot lately, especially since we've done like the gateway tapes with the hemi-syncing and, the left and the right brain, getting them to work together and not just solely focusing on one. This, I believe, and what many other people believe as well that are into this sidereal astrology, that it kind of is a syncing of the two hemispheres, because it allows you to play in that spiritual field with accurate information.
Yeah. And ever since then, like I said, I can't for sure know that it was before or after mushrooms or after the hemi-sync. But after that, dude, I've been having a lot of mystical type experiences, So I think the hemi-sync definitely had a big role in that.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it's I think that it has. And you know what? It's been a little minute since we've done that. I'm not saying we're going to do that tonight, but because
those are a little long.
Yeah, those take it out of you. But one of these nights we're going to get back into it, because pretty profound shit goes on there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. So there are actual case studies that were done on this. So the interesting thing about astrology in general is that according to the way that you believe, whether you're using tropical, sidereal, or Vedic, or whatever you're doing, you can actually plug it up into a computer. You can draw it out, whatever you want to do, and you can go back or forward as much as you want, right? So if you want, you can go back and you can check, all right, if sidereal is the true one, then it should have given us signs as to what was to come. And that would be our way to best prove it, in a sense. Right. Now, what's interesting is that all three of them prove it in their own way.
Right.
How is that possible? Because, one seasons, another one is more spiritually, because it divides it up. So as for the Vedic ones, that's what I read earlier. The Vedic ones, the Vedic astrology, it it uses 12 or 13 constellations. It depends on which, people you ask, technically.
Yeah.
But it's cut up into 28 or 29 divisions.
Oh.
So it gets real fractalized over
Right.
there.
Okay.
Whereas this one is just cut up into 13.
Right.
So it's not to say that one's 100% better. Or it's just about, whatever your flavor is.
Right.
But there are ways of being able to almost predict, or dare I say, prophesize about what is to come based upon the charts. And as they say, the millionaires don't use astrology. The billionaires do.
Yes, dude. And you know what I was thinking of? I understand that, astrology is usually for when you were born and for you specifically, but I'm sure you can look into these types of things for like major events. You talk about going backward in time, look and see what was what was going on in the cosmos when like 9/11 happened, or like certain things like that. And I wonder if there's some sort of correlation. I feel like there just has to be.
Oh yeah. And we actually have a couple of instances that we're going to get to. Some of them say, you about to dip out there, Nick? All right, buddy.
All right, Nick.
Love you, man.
Later, guys. Have a good night. Peace.
See you, man.
Later, man.
But yeah, it has been used to predict certain things. And look, if you can prove it using the signs, then you should be able to know what's to come in a sense.
Right.
Not exactly. You're not going to be able to predict exactly what's going to happen, where it's going to happen, but you might be able to figure out what sector. You might be able to figure out possibly to who or whatever. You're going to narrow it down, and if you're really good at reading the political landscape or the sport landscape or whatever it is that you're trying to get to, then, maybe you can narrow it down even more.
Right. And you can't even say that, like if you want to get biblical about it or whatever, I feel like astrology, I mean, you're not communicating with demons at that point. You're literally using the creation itself. You know what I mean? If you're trying to call out things that might happen in the future. And
right.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So what's really cool is that you can actually, for example, if you wanted to try and figure out a Super Bowl winner, right? Usually, there's two teams in the Super Bowl every year.
Yep.
And if you were able to really figure out how to use sidereal astrology, and you were able to take, I don't know, so last year it was the Chiefs versus the Eagles, right, in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
You had Jalen Hurts versus Patrick Mahomes. You had the head coaches, Nick Sirianni versus Andy Reid. And if you were to do their sidereal chart, if you were able to somehow find it online somewhere, and try and see, does the sidereal chart match up with what is going on in the sky today in that city where they're playing that Super Bowl at, you might be able to come pretty damn close.
Yeah, dude. Isn't there somebody that does that too? I think you were telling me about somebody like that. That's like usually always right for the most part.
Yeah. There's a couple people actually. And they make a lot of money doing it.
I bet.
Might have to throw a couple of shams on the Super Bowl this year,
Give it a shot, dude.
Oh, why not? What's $20?
Yeah.
I want to bring up a couple of things that was pretty interesting. Where was I? Okay. So the age of Pisces in the transition to the age of Aquarius. This is how they were able to break it down using true sidereal. So in tropical astrology, many say that we're already deep in the age of Aquarius, but true sidereal shows that we're just entering Aquarius now, since Pisces is such a large constellation. So because in tropical astrology, Pisces is 30 degrees, whereas what was it? But in true sidereal, it's 42 degrees.
Right.
So if you're just going about it by that, you have 12 more fucking degrees you got to get through.
Right.
Because you're not just limited to 30. So that would say that we're just now entering Aquarius. So the timing perfectly matches the real world shift. A lot more people are getting into this spiritual stuff, right?
Yeah.
Which would be, and it depends on who you ask. This is a very, contradicting thing that I'm about to say, and maybe divisive or whatever. But I mean, I can see kind of the landscape, and maybe I might just be a little bit biased here because we do this show.
Maybe a little bit.
But
that's all right.
I believe what's going on is that more and more people are becoming involved and more open-minded with spirituality, and more and more people are kind of not into church as much anymore, or not into the rigorous church world as much as they once were.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I'm sure that's going on, dude. And you know, with the age of information too, you know, I mean, if that's the time that we're in, it definitely feels like it with, you know, everybody sharing their stories, and the countless podcasts, and, you know, just the internet in general is just like more than it's ever been.
Oh, dude. And because there's so
ChatGPT,
many,
you know,
right. Because there's so many things that are going on that you don't know where to compartmentalize it if you're religious. Right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you compartmentalize aliens? How do you compartmentalize AI? How do you compartmentalize
outer space, apparently.
Compartmentalize space, compartmentalize near-death experiences, compartmentalize psychedelic experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like there's compartmentalize fucking coincidences or synchronicities. Like where does that factor into your religion?
Right.
Good luck. You're not going to find it, you know?
Right.
Because they don't talk about it, at least not in depth, I don't think. But anyhow, so this timing, as far as us entering Aquarius now, as opposed to years back, matches the real world shift. So the rise of global technology, which would make sense in Aquarius, AI, collective movements, decentralization, crypto, internet, and questioning of authority, which are all very Aquarian themes.
Yep. Exactly what we were just talking about, dude.
Yes. It also explains why the New Age explosion over the last few decades felt more transitional than full-blown Aquarius. It was the tail end of Pisces, which Pisces represents faith, spirituality, and devotion. So you're starting to see a shift from that. Not by everybody. It's going to be a slow thing. And it doesn't even mean that everybody's going to do it. You know, even during the times of biblical times, not everybody was a Christian or religious at all, right?
Right.
Some of them were taken out, you know, think of the pagans and the witches and what are they called from Ireland? We just had a show on them.
Oh, the Druids.
The Druids and all them, right? You had people that were going against the grain, got taken out for it, but that's neither here nor there. So it doesn't mean that everybody's going to step in line. It just means that there's going to be quite a sizable transition to that stage.
It, dude. That's it.
So
It's time for people to start asking questions. You know what I mean? Instead of looking past certain things that don't or that totally contradict their entire belief system. It's like you got to start asking these questions instead of just purposely looking through that or looking past it.
Yeah. I mean, and we're not judging anybody who's religious by any means. We're just saying that, you know, it's the path that we're on is kind of a path that, you know, you kind of, I don't know how to say it. You're on your own path of discovery, like the fool's journey in a sense.
That's it.
So nextly, you would have this is interesting. So the 2020 Saturn-Pluto conjunction was actually in Capricorn, not in Aquarius, I believe. So in January of 2020, Saturn and Pluto conjoined. So tropical astrologers said that this was in Aquarius, predicting humanitarian reform. They thought that was going to happen in 2020. However, True Sidereal placed it in Capricorn, and what happened? So in 2020, everybody remembers what happened in 2020, COVID and all that bullshit, right? So it placed it in Capricorn, and what happened? The world faced governmental lockdowns, authoritarian lockdowns, government control, restrictions, corporate restructuring, and global order shifts. These are pure Capricorn themes of authority, structure, and discipline.
Holy shit. I had no idea.
Makes sense when you put it in that sense, right? So it says this was a clear hit for True Sidereal over Tropical.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big thing.
I'd say so.
You know?
I'd say so. Oh, yeah. It's pretty clear.
Then in 2022, you had the U.S. Pluto return. So tropical astrology had Pluto returning to America's chart in Capricorn, emphasizing politics and authority. So true sidereal, so that was tropical astrology, had Pluto returning to America's chart in Capricorn. True sidereal placed Pluto in Sagittarius, highlighting deep transformation around belief systems, religion, philosophy, and truth-seeking. So in 2022, technically, I believe, is when they say that we entered Aquarius.
That makes sense for me. That's exactly like when I had my my awakening, man. That was like that time period, man.
Right in there,
Where it was
right?
just like nothing makes sense. What is this? What's going on? Time
Crazy.
to investigate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
So that would be Pluto in Sagittarius. So what's been happening? Massive debates around truth versus information, collapse of religious trust, culture wars about morality and philosophy. This is Sagittarius themes to the core, it says.
Holy shit.
Pretty cool when you break it down like that, though, right?
I kind of had a feeling there was going to be some things that we could look at in that way and go, oh, okay.
Checks out.
Sidereal's on some shit.
Yeah. There's a couple more.
Oh, all right.
Then there is the Virgo season versus Leo season misalignment. So it says every year, many people who feel like Virgos in real life, whether they're analytical, detail-oriented, health-focused, or humble, are called Leos in tropical astrology. So they go their whole life thinking that they're Leos, and they're like, I mean, Virgo kind of makes a little bit more sense, right? More analytical, more detail-oriented, whatever, right? True sidereal fixes this since the sun is actually in Virgo longer than Leo, because Virgo is the biggest one.
Right. Yep. Holy shit.
So this explains why so many who never resonated with their Leo sun sign suddenly align when they discover true sidereal. They were actually born under Virgo.
Holy shit, dude.
Imagine that.
Leo's out there going, I see.
Yeah,
I see now.
Well, because, they say that Leos are typically like, they want to flaunt and they're like, look at me. And only reason I even really know that is because Jacob's a fucking Leo. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I love Jacob. Don't get me wrong, but my God, does he love himself a lot. I mean, nothing wrong with loving yourself.
Good for him, man. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah, exactly.
I need a little more self-love myself, personally.
Oh, well, we're going to figure you out here in a minute, sir. Don't you worry about that.
I hope so. I've been waiting.
So in 2023, Jupiter was in Pisces, not in Aries. So this would be another way to prove sidereal over tropical. So tropical astrologers placed Jupiter in Aries in 2023, predicting fiery new beginnings and aggressive expansion. True sidereal showed Jupiter still in Pisces for most of that year, and instead we saw explosions of spirituality, psychedelics, dream research, AI imagination tools, major cultural focuses on escapism, fantasy, drugs, and collective spirituality. These are all Pisces hallmarks, proving true sidereal lined up more cleanly with reality at that moment.
Nice. Love it.
So 2023, that might have been the first year I tried Foreco, now that I think about it.
So it checks the box of the psychedelics then.
For me, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to recap, true sidereal astrology got it right with the age of Aquarius timing, the 2020 Saturn Pluto in Capricorn of authority control with COVID, the U.S. Pluto return in Sagittarius as far as the belief wars go, Virgo versus Leo season being accurate. The people that thought that they were in Leo were actually Virgos and so on. And then Jupiter in Pisces with the 2023 spiritual and fantasy boom.
All right.
Which actually makes sense. In 2023, the Jupiter was in Pisces with a spiritual boom. Bro, the show was created in 2023.
It was, right?
Yeah.
Damn. Holy shit. First Meta Mysteries, man.
Dude,
right.
I'm just saying, it is... man, it's just so cool whenever you check it out that way. And I got a bunch of more, examples and everything that we're going to get to. So,
And it's
but
funny too, the whole story with that, as far as like this wasn't even going to be a spiritual podcast or anything philosophical or anything like that, and it just happened that way.
yeah,
That's just how it was. It's like this is what it's going to be because the cosmos says so. You know?
yeah, and so whenever you look at it through this lens, the stars actually have way more meaning at this point, right? Because now you're looking at the stars as they shine on your location with your birth date, wherever you are, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And each star or, planet, sun,
Constellation.
moon, node, whatever, they all represent something. And so if you just go outside, you look up at night and you're like, oh, looks like, whatever, then, you don't necessarily need to go to an astrologer. You can just look up. It's cool.
Right. Yeah.
Or you can use like one of those.
It's tangible in that sense, man.
You can you can use like one of those constellation apps too, like it mentioned earlier. I have one. What is it called? Let me see. Sky Guide is the one that I have, where it just basically shows you like a blueprint overlay of the sky.
Yeah. And you just move your phone around, right? It's like
how cool is that?
Yeah, I love it.
So fun. All right. So we told you a little bit about the past. Let's look forward to the future and see if we can guess things moving forward.
Okay.
So, True Sidereal Forest Tracker from 2025 to 2030, just for the next 5 years. Let's see what it looks like. So we can see how the actual sky placements could play out in real world themes. So here we go. In 2025, it doesn't say what month, but it just says overall in 2025. There's going to be Saturn and Neptune in Aquarius. So in True Sidereal, both Saturn and Neptune move into Aquarius. The themes would be, so Saturn equals structure, authority, and discipline. Neptune equals illusions, spirituality, confusion, and idealism.
Oh, okay.
So together in Aquarius, because we're in Aquarius now, right?
Yeah. Huh?
Together in Aquarius, it would be confusion around technology, AI, collective movements, internet freedom, and utopian visions.
Holy shit.
Expect debates on whether AI is salvation or deception, clashes over online freedoms, and a restructuring of collective ideals.
We're already kind of right there, dude.
We're in 2025. It makes sense.
Yeah, we're already kind of there. Yeah.
But so okay, that's just 2025. We're already seeing that. Not that crazy, right? Let's check out 2026 then.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's go there.
So Pluto in 2026 enters Capricorn. So in True Sidereal, Pluto finally moves from Sagittarius to Capricorn. So the themes would be global institutions, corporations, and governments face massive transformations.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I don't know if I like that. What do you think?
There are possible financial resets, restructuring of global power, and authority being challenged and reborn. So it says tropical astrology says that this happens in Aquarius, but the Capricorn placement better matches the intensity of governmental and corporate upheaval that we're already seeing hints of.
Yeah, I saw something recently, and it was talking about our currency and just basically the value of the dollar bill and how that's kind of been like the universal currency, and it's just the value of it is just dropped so bad, dude, that it's getting kind of scary. Like it's almost like when it was talking about resetting, it's like, oh, we're gonna have to come up with some other type of payment or something like that because the dollar bill just isn't gonna be worth anything.
Dude, literally the dollar bill, it used to be backed by gold back in the day. And now it's literally backed by debt. So it's backed by less than nothing is what it means.
Yeah. And we'll never be able to pay that debt, and that's the way that money is created, by people getting loans and creating that money that then we already don't have the money to cover that. And then there's interest on top of that. So it's just, I feel like it should have failed already.
It should have. And anybody that's interested in looking a little bit deeper into that, go check out fractional reserve banking. You want to talk about how we got into that much debt? That's how they fucking did it.
I don't even know if I want to see that, man.
Oh, dude. It's
I'm
like
stressed out already.
They're cheating is what it is. It's
Right.
They're cheating and monopoly is what they're doing. But anyway, I talk about that shit enough on the cult. So in 2026, Could have a lot of governmental and corporate upheaval. Global power being restructured, possible financial resets, authority being challenged and reborn. Okay.
It's going to get weird, dude.
I mean, I'm
Get
here for
weird
it.
quick.
I'm here for all the fucking...
I mean, we ain't got no choice. You know what I mean? Let's just hold on and hope for the best, I guess.
I mean, I'm all about drama as long as it ain't mine. You know?
Right, yeah, I guess.
Give me all that.
It's gonna be yours. No, I'm just kidding.
You know I'm going to be talking about it, so I mean, why not?
It's gonna work out in your favor no matter what, I think.
You know what? With that positive mindset, I think you're right, sir.
You like it? Hey, I like it.
So how about in 2027 though? So in 2027, Uranus, the planet of rebellion and innovation, enters Aries. So the themes would be radical revolutions in identity, independence, warfare, and pioneering technology.
Okay.
It said it could mark breakthroughs in space exploration, biohacking, or personal sovereignty movements. So tropical would place this in Taurus, predicting finance and earth themes. But Aries is about raw initiation and rebellion. So I don't like the warfare part of that in 2027.
No, but for some reason, when you say that and you talk about expanding like to space, like I think China. You know what I mean? I think China's gonna go to the moon. They're gonna take over. They're gonna just start putting things up there. You know, and it's like this is our moon now. You know, it's
Probably.
Like, what do you do?
Dude, I'm pretty sure China put up like their own sun.
Oh my
It's
god!
crazy. Yeah. Like straight up, they put
Oh,
up like
wow.
a fucking fake sun, which is
Wow.
it's pretty impressive
I
actually.
mean,
if you
good
think
for
about it.
them. Yeah, I'm not even mad at that. It's impressive.
I mean, I don't know if it's so many billions or whatever miles away, but
I
mean,
doubt
hey.
that, but yeah, I'm
um,
sure they did something to that effect.
in 2028, you'll have Jupiter and Saturn both in Pisces. So this is going to be a big conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn in Pisces. The themes would be major restructuring of spirituality, religion, media, and collective dreams.
Wow. I mean, we're becoming telepathic, dude. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Come on,
You know, there's
2028.
gonna be a whole nother world where everybody just kind of hangs out in the dream world,
Oh shit! I can't wait until 2028. Okay.
as if it's absolutely going to happen. You know,
So also in 2028, you're going to have rise of new spiritual movements, deeper exploration of psychedelics, dream research, and mass illusions or collective awakenings.
I'm here
So
for that.
a lot of shit's going down in 2028. It says this echoes ancient great conjunction vibes, but plays out in Pisces' mystical waters. So
Holy shit. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I've been having a lot of dreams lately, like every single night, like all night. And it could be like 3 or 4 different ones kind of mashed together. So I don't know, man. Some
Pretty
weird
solid.
shit going on. Yeah.
pretty
Maybe
solid.
it's begun. It's begun already.
I think so. Then in 2030, this is the final year that we're going to talk about as far as future. In 2030, Neptune enters Pisces. So in true sidereal, this is all in true sidereal. So in true sidereal, Neptune shifts fully into Pisces. So the themes would be a cultural flood of mysticism, fantasy, escapism, and dissolving boundaries. It could spark both a spiritual renaissance and a wave of delusion / false prophets as well.
Of course. Of course.
'cause
There's
you-
always something like that, you know?
Well, it has to be, there has
That's
to be
been
polarity.
going on, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It says that this would be a big time year for the arts, film, and virtual realities, blurring what's real and what's a dream.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That makes sense.
Wild. All right. So just to summarize that, 2025 would be confusion around AI and tech utopias. 2026 would be a collapse and rebirth of governments and corporations. I'm interested to see what the fuck that's going to look like.
That one makes me the most nervous, though, out of all of them.
Hopefully they just leave podcasting alone, you know?
Yeah. Just leave us alone.
Don't come after us.
Yeah.
In 2027, you would have radical independence and pioneering revolutions. 2028, you would have restructuring of religion, spirituality, and collective imagination. You know what that tells me? whenever we see something like that, a restructuring of all three of imagination, spirituality, and religion. That seems like aliens.
Oh yeah.
2028?
You have no choice, man, when they start showing up. It's like you got to start refiguring out what's really going on, what you believe, and does it hold up anymore?
Oh, dude, they come down here and they're like, this is all a fucking illusion, right? Like, stop taking your shit so serious, Like, you're in a dream. Like, wake up. No, I'm just kidding. That would be fun if they did it, though. No, Nora.
I'm here for it.
What up, Nora?
Hey, dudes. Just
What
want to
it
make
do?
a quick comment. Didn't the Shar say that we would have first contact, like first public contact at about that time?
Yeah, I believe so. Either 2027 or 2028. It was somewhere in that general area. If you listen to Chris Bledsoe, he actually predicted that it would be Easter of 2026.
Ooh,
So
here for it.
yeah, bring it. I mean,
Yeah, let's see what that's about.
look, I will happily bring in an alien to come stay in my house.
Just
I mean, you're probably interdimensional anyway. Do you even need to sleep?
yeah, they don't even need that much space, or they don't consume anything. Nothing you have to offer anyway.
I mean, they're bending, space and time and light and,
Spoons and everything. Dude.
Spoons.
Everything's getting bent.
Yeah. Not their egos though, I don't think.
No.
Maybe it is. So just to get back over the chat here for a second, Mama Slaney said, so apparently I'm a Gemini, not a Cancer, July 6th.
There you go. Now you know.
Now you know. Nora said, apparently my true whole zodiac chart shows that I'm a Cancer, have 3 other houses in Cancer and 3 other houses in Leo. So my chart said I'm literally an emotional bitch. Does it check out though?
Funny.
Just curious.
Does it check out? Is it accurate?
That's
Asking
funny.
for a friend.
Sadly, it is. Sadly, it is.
Hey, at least you're honest, Let's see. Nick said, I was just looking up my sidereal stuff. Turns out that I was born on almost exactly same latitude line as the pyramids. Thought that was cool. Oh, wow.
Interesting.
I mean, if anybody, it's Nick,
Of course, I wouldn't expect any less at this point.
Nick's a fucking alien, bro. Let's just face the facts here.
Yeah, dude. I've been trying not to say anything, but I think you're right.
I mean, they're here.
He's here.
We're having we're having conversations with them already, dude.
They're
for
all
fuck's sake.
named Nick.
Yeah, they're just.
We are Nick.
We come from Knick-Knack.
Dude.
Brit said, isn't the Paramount movie Mountains supposed to be the mountain range the fallen angels fell and they put stars above the mountains? I saw that as a conspiracy. I started doing a little bit more research into it. I think it's on to something.
Right.
It does check out in a sense. I mean, it depends on where you're getting it from and what lens you're looking at it from. Because if you're looking at it through Jewish mysticism with the Kabbalah, which a lot of people believe that, the Jews run Hollywood. So that would kind of make sense to me, No hate against the Jews. They're powerful. So, good on y'all.
Right.
But yeah, I think that it all depends. And I don't know, dude. I don't know exactly how strict they are as far as like, do Kabbalists only practice the Kabbalah, or are they also allowed to dip into other things too? You're allowed to get a little Vedic
I guess it really depends on their level of awareness, dude, because as we've come to learn, there's a lot of things that tend to work, and becoming an eclectic actually kind of works out to your advantage, I think,
Yeah,
So.
I mean, you would think, but I don't know. It also probably depends on, what gods you believe you're worshiping and
Yeah.
weird stuff like that. I just saw this video earlier. This guy, he went to go, he went to go meet a record producer or something like that. He's a rapper, Lil something. I can't remember what his name is. He went to go meet this producer at the top of a specific mountain. I can't remember which one, but he went all the way to the top in like a McLaren, something super nice. He got all the way up to the top and he goes, the rapper guy, he goes, man, how the fuck are you getting all this nice shit? You got all the nice drip and the sweet cars. And the guy's like, because I sold my soul to the devil. And he's like, quit fucking playing, man. Like, what do you like, for real? And he goes, yeah, for real. I gave my soul to Satan and I'm in the Illuminati. And he's like, come the fuck on, man. Stop fucking with me. Right.
Right.
And he goes, no, bro, like I'm being dead ass. And speaking of dead ass, he goes, how you sell your soul to Satan would be by essentially giving your ass up in kind of a in like a Diddy kind of way.
Of course.
You know?
Right. Yep.
And then
shit.
also there's like, you know, certain blood rituals and stuff you got to do. And he goes, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm not with that kind of stuff.
No, thank you, dude. I mean, sure, you know, there could be a group of people that are already powerful, you know, and then you give yourself up in that way and then they make connections for you and make that work, you know. But as far as at least how I see it, dude, selling your soul to the devil, I believe only means that you're doing something that you don't really want to do, or you're doing it for people you don't really want to do it for, but yet the money's there, and so it's like you're choosing the money over like your true happiness, you know. Like that's kind of how I look at it.
Well, and we went over the different vibrational frequencies that each person has, whether you're enlightened all the way down to fear and, you know, that kind of stuff, right? And fear it wasn't the bottom one, but it was one of the bottom ones, right? As far as the frequency that you give off. The thing is that that's on a polarity. And so they're extremes on both ends of the pole. Right. So you can use magic or witchcraft or, you know, demonology or Satanism or whatever. And you can use that with fear if you want. And you're going to get pretty wild results. Right. Because fear is such a powerful frequency that you're giving off that ultimately that's what's powering it up. So if you believe in your mind, and I don't know, I'm just trying to figure it out my damn self. But if you believe in your mind that you giving your soul to Satan, that you actually are, I imagine you'd be pretty damn fearful. You know, pitchfork guy, lives in hell. Maybe you heard of him, you know, kind of thing. It's like, you probably wouldn't want to be, I don't know, anally abused in the name of Satan. I don't know. Doesn't sound like a fun time to me. So if you're doing that, then you probably actually believe that that's what's going on. Hence, the fear is powering the magic, and therefore, maybe now you sold your soul to Satan. Just trying to figure out how it looks like.
Making them hits, you know?
Yeah. And then, you know, you have other ways too, which, you know, we've had El the Alchemist on and a few other people. Yeah. As far as like sacrificing goes and the life force and the DNA and the blood and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's
definitely not a new thing.
Definitely
you
not.
know what I mean?
Yeah. And even now, they just sacrificed the red heifer, which is what they had to do over in Israel in order to build the third temple, in order for the Messiah to come back and all this kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
Like you had to sacrifice a fucking cow so that God would grant you your wish.
He needed that.
So which God are we talking about? Yeah. Okay? Because I thought that this God didn't require sacrifice anymore, and yet it's still going to work somehow. So how does that work? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's powered by belief.
Right. And dude, you know what they do? They take the ashes. So they sacrifice the red heifer. It has to be perfect and flawless, not a hair out of order. Okay. Right. Which they got from Texas. They shipped it down to Israel. And then they sacrifice it and then they burn it. Whenever they burn it, they collect the ashes of this red heifer. Right.
Okay.
And with the ashes, they were able to get 10.5 pounds of ash from this red heifer. I mean, cows are pretty big. They got 10.5 pounds. They believe that ash can cure people, like cure them of like miraculous shit, right? Yeah. So they said that they've already started doing it. They started handing it out to people like in super need, whether it be like Alzheimer's or you know child defect, you know whatever, right? Yeah. Anything crazy, and they said every single time it works.
Yeah, of course.
Every single time.
We already know this. You know, powered by belief, man. You're healing yourself, essentially, because you believe that ash is going to work.
At
least that's how I see it.
Either that, or they're working with some evil shit. You know what I'm
Some
saying?
evil shit. Okay, right. That
You
could be.
sacrificed, bro.
could be.
You sacrificed a
Yeah.
living animal. Like, you're using that life force now.
Right.
And you're saying that, God did it.
Mhm.
And God
Yeah.
asked you for it. And it's like, I don't know, dude. I don't know how you can say
It's
that
strange.
God is all love whenever you got sacrificed and shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I get the idea of wanting to kill an animal so that we can eat it, so we can nourish it. We need to eat meat and all this other stuff. Unless you're
Yeah.
vegetarian, then you're weird. I'm just kidding. But most of us do eat meat. So it's a worthy kind of sacrifice. In this sense,
Yeah.
they're not eating it. They're killing it. They're sacrificing it in the
Just
name
burning the shit out of it.
in the name of Yahweh, right?
Of course.
And then you burn it because you're trying to purify it. That purified ash is now miraculous. That kind of sounds oddly similar to what we talked about with what was his name? That was
the
sacrificing the chickens.
Al the Alchemist, no?
No, that wasn't Al the Alchemist. That was J.S. Garrett.
Oh, J.S. Garrett. Okay.
Fucking love
Yeah.
that guy too.
Oh my god, that episode was pretty wild.
Pretty wild, right? So
Yeah.
J.S. Garrett was sacrificing chickens, pouring the blood onto the fire, and was somehow able to get miracles to come out of that. And he was doing it in the name of demons.
Yeah. Specifically. Yeah.
What's the difference,
So,
bro? What's the
I don't
fucking
know.
difference, bro? You know what I'm
There's none.
saying?
There's none, dude. There's none.
Anyway,
It's a weird place we live in.
this is supposed to be about sidereal astrology. Now we're getting
I
into
know, but
sacrifice. What are
sometimes
we
things
doing?
get weird. We take it there and then, Anyway, turning the ship around.
All right, turn it all the way around. Let's see. Oh, because Britt had to ask about the fallen angels, and we had to go there. Okay, sorry about that. That's
I'm
how
glad
somehow
we
we
did,
talked
though.
about fallen angels, and we got to sacrifice.
Yeah. It was a fun ride, though.
That was fun. Nick said, not going to make the full pod. Came in for what I could. Night, y'all. Britt
He's
said,
a working man,
he's a hardworking man. Britt said, I have so many dreams at night. I'm definitely busier as I sleep than I am in my waking life. I'm
Yeah.
exhausted every time I wake up.
Exactly. I feel like I got no rest, man. Mine just going.
Yeah. Then she said the Jews run pretty much everything here. Zionist Jews. There you go. You got to clarify the Zionist Jews for sure. I'm not saying I agree with that because maybe they do, maybe they don't. Who knows? I plead the fifth
What do
on
we
that
know,
one.
dude?
I plead
Yeah.
the fifth on that one.
We can't be held responsible here.
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
We're just podcasters, all right?
Yeah,
That's
we
it.
don't know what we don't know, as a wise philosopher
Right.
once said.
That's right.
There is I did want to go check out his website here one last time before we do the tarot reading though.
Okay.
Just to try and get it a little bit more in his words, talking about Athen Commente. So and you can check it out. His website is called masteringthezodiac.com. He does great work. I've gotten my chart read by him. I thought it was fascinating.
We'll definitely have to have him on,
Yeah, yeah. So he has like he has like certain readings and the cost, and that's interesting. He has a software that he sells too. Wow.
Doing
all right.
things.
All right, here we go. Oh, wow. It was in the media. Oh, how about that? He got it in Women's Health and Refinery 29, and so it's not just some strange guy. You know what I'm saying?
Some real shit, dude.
He gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it. I thought that there was going to be more that we could learn here. Chart dictionary. Oh, this is what I wanted to get to. So it says that how to read a birth chart in minutes. So there are three main components. There's the elliptic in the sky. So this is kind of looking like almost like a protractor kind of situation. Oh, is this a video? Yes, it is. Oh, we're not about to play 11 minutes worth though. Okay. So he goes, wouldn't it be great to know how to read a birth chart and quickly see the person's life path and personality? Here's how. First, you will need a birth chart. This is also known as a natal chart or simply an astrology chart. Let's use yours as an example. If you don't have it available, you can use my simple and easy to use birth chart calculator.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep in mind that this calculator uses the actual sky called Sidereal Astrology. So you might notice some of your signs are different. The houses. All right, this is going to go a little bit more in depth now. So the houses represent the sky at the time of birth, divided into 12 parts. More specifically, the elliptic, which is the path the planets move across the sky. he said 12 right here. I think he's grouping together Ophiuchus and Scorpio as one.
Yeah.
I want to say. I could be wrong. Anyway, so the houses form the skeletal structure of the chart and are always in the same location for everyone. They are numbered 1 through 12. So you'll see your houses on this inner ring right here.
Okay.
In a Western chart, like the one we are using, the beginning of the first house is the eastern horizon. This is also known as the rising sign or the ascendant. This is the beginning of the chart, and the houses start here, beginning with the first house, moving counterclockwise through the 12th. So you would start, right here?
Counterclockwise. Okay.
And counterclockwise. Okay, yeah. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in counterclockwise, or as the witches like to say, Widdershins.
Wintershins. Yep.
It says, note that there are different house systems used by astrologers. The ascendant might be somewhere in the first house, or you might notice the houses aren't equal. The systems we are using is the equal house system. This divides the ecliptic into 12 equal parts, starting from the ascendant. Feel free to use whichever system you prefer. Okay, this is the houses, not the constellations. So that's why it's in 12 and not 13. Okay,
all right.
I had that confused.
I'm with you.
So opposite the ascendant is the descendant. This is the western horizon, or what's setting. The top of the chart is the highest part of the ecliptic in the sky. The bottom of the chart is what is underneath the horizon, or the non-visible sky. So for example, the first house represents all areas of life associated with self. This includes our self-image, motivations, goals, and appearance. The house represent what we call areas of life. Then you got so that would be the houses. Then you got the signs, which would be this outer ring here. The signs represent where along the ecliptic the zodiac signs were at the time of birth. What sign it was rising, which was setting. This is where the interpretations can begin. Now that we have two components of the chart to compare, the sign shows that shows the characteristics of the sky at the time of birth. So an easy way of remembering what they represent is to think of them as characteristics of life. For example, the directness and assertiveness of Aries. The zodiac signs show the qualities that come through our life. Right. Okay. Then you got the planets. So the planets, the transient planets in the sky mirror our transient experience on Earth. These experiences shape our personality. Okay, the planets do. The house a planet is in shows what area of life shapes our personality. So the sign shows what characteristics shape our personality. The easiest way to think about planets are as the experiences of life which shape our personality. Okay, got it.
Okay. And that's what you were saying earlier as far as them being our role. The role we play? Was that what the planets?
I believe so. Yeah. That would be the was it role? No, it was like something like that though.
Okay.
The actor or whatever it was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how to read your natal chart. In natal chart analysis, we want to start with the most fundamental elements first. In other words, the most fundamental elements of your personality. 4 main components of the chart show this. The 4 main components are the sun, moon, ascendant, and the ascendant's ruler, also known as the chart ruler. We are looking for the house and sign position of these 4 components. Note that the ascendant only shows the sign. And we can go on and on with all this. I just feel like, we want to take baby steps with trying to get to understand all this. But, I mean, it is pretty interesting. And I would love to get to a point where I can start to really gather and fully understand, that would be cool.
And just do some of these charts just like by hand, like right there,
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I think that's going to be the ultimate thing, is just having our charts made and just look at that and go, okay, now I understand a little more about myself, and ultimately I think that's what we're trying to do,
I think so. Yeah. I mean, that's you're trying to figure out your past, and you're trying to figure out your destiny with the Rahu and Ketu with the moon nodes, right? Mm-hmm. You also want to know like what house your planets are in. You want to know what your actual sun sign is and what your actual moon sign is. And because I came from a place, I thought that my sun was in Taurus and my moon was in Scorpio. I never forget that, right? Mm-hmm. And now with this new one, I'm like Aries, and I don't even know what the moon sign is yet.
Right. Got some learning to do, man.
Yeah. So anyway, look, we are going to get to individual readings for anybody that's interested in that. We're going to do that before the meditation. But first, we do want to do the tarot. I do want to say, while we're saying this, anybody that's interested in us trying to figure out your sidereal chart, give us the information that I said earlier. So it'd be your name, your city that you were born in, the date that you were born, and the time if you were born. The time is actually more important than you think, because it could vary a degree or two, and that could shift, everything. I had to actually ask my parents what my birth time was.
Right.
And,
what was your birth time?
5:20 p.m.
5:20 p.m.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm at 6:13 p.m. Pretty close, dude.
6:13. Nice.
Yep.
But yeah, we're going to get to that. So anybody that's interested, you just make sure you get those 4 things. And then we'll try and do your chart and try and understand it. We're still learning all this stuff too, but,
we're babies with it.
Yeah, we're barely crawling. We're still
That's it.
drooling.
Yeah. We got the tarot card though, if you're ready, my good dude.
I'm ready. What is it?
We got the Knight of Pentacles.
Oh, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles. The quest for prosperity moves slowly and steadily. So true success is a long game, so don't rush the process. You'll be able to see right here. Anybody that's here watching on Patreon or YouTube, that is the Knight of Pentacles right there. Just, a knight sitting on a horse holding a pentacle. Okay.
Just chilling out. Yeah.
It says, knights in the tarot are depicted on horseback, returning from a noble quest to present you with an elemental item that you requested. The Knight of Pentacles is the only knight in the tarot whose horse appears to stand still, which highlights his connection to the earth element. His horse is black to evoke a sense of protection. His careful contemplation of the pentacle in his hand symbolizes his connection to the element of air, the element of intellect. So the knight knows that in order to bring you the abundance that you requested, he will need to exercise patience and make intelligent choices. He is assured prosperity because he pays attention to details and is methodical in his actions.
Hey.
So the upright key meanings would be long-term abundance and steady progress. That's a good card.
I'll take it all day, dude. Paying attention to the details, like your actual astrology sign,
Right. Yeah.
Kind of important.
The spiritual message behind it, it says, taking daily action in small, significant ways toward your personal goals or wellness routine is your best bet right now. Soon you'll begin seeing positive changes in your health or bank account. Hey, remember to rely on stable friends or family members when you need support.
Yep.
So, solid card. Wow. And I guess you would
always,
have...
man.
I was getting ready to say is that I guess you would have... long-term abundance and steady progress if you knew what your fucking constellation was, if you knew what your zodiac
for
was.
failure. We were set up for failure. It's not even our fault, It's fine. We know now. So
now you know. Anybody that would be interested in joining us next week, we shoot every Wednesday for the Wonder Wednesday show. Go to patreon.com/metamysteries. That link's down in the show notes below. It's the best way to be able to come over and support us, and you'll be able to join us if you sign up for the Wonder Wednesday tier. That Wonder Wednesday tier is at $8.88 a month. We go live every Wednesday. You'll also be able to see the shows a couple of days in advance, slide into our DMs, and listen to the shows and watch the shows completely commercial free. And that'll be the fastest way that you can get the show. Literally, as soon as this is done, it'll be uploaded in probably an hour and a half. That tier will be $8.88. And but if you're not interested in that, we also have another tier, $3.33. So if you're not interested in joining us on the Wednesday live shows, but you just want everything else, $3.33, dude. $3. Like,
get rid of the commercials.
That's like a gallon of gas.
That's it. Yep.
A singular gallon.
Just about, dude.
So give us 20 miles. That's all we want.
20 miles. That's all we ask.
That's all we ask. That would be the best way to be able to support the show. If you're listening to this on the Cult of Conspiracy podcast on Mondays and Fridays, thank you for doing that. We appreciate that. But if you want the show one day in advance, so instead of on Mondays and Fridays, you want the shows on Sundays and Thursdays, then come check out the Meta Mysteries platform on the podcast. So maybe you're on Spotify, you're on Apple, whatever, just type in Meta Mysteries. You'll be able to get the show a day in advance over there. If you want to watch it, not on Patreon, the only other place you'd be able to go and do that would be over at youtube.com/metamysteries. That link is also down in the show notes below. And that will also be coming out on Mondays and Fridays, just like on the Cult of Conspiracy. So we're trying to get everywhere. We're also on TikTok, and Instagram. And so, yeah, we appreciate everybody that goes and follows us and, likes all of our stuff over there. It really helps boost the algorithm in many ways. Also, if you could, whether you're listening on the Cult of Conspiracy or on Meta Mysteries, write a review. Give us some stars. I don't even care if you give us no stars and tell us that we need to go fuck ourselves. It still helps the algorithm.
Well,
so maybe don't do that, but no, just kidding. But yeah, we appreciate everybody that gives us a review. It really does help out a lot. So we are going to wrap it up here. Sean, what are your thoughts on true sidereal astrology? I know it's a lot to take in, but hopefully I did a decent enough job outlining it.
Oh, yeah, you did a great job. And I just feel like I'm not going back now. There's no way. Like, why would I go back? But that's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard, because I always kind of felt, for some reason, some kind of like, it was cool to be Aquarius. I feel like, I don't know.
Well, you still
maybe
are.
I'm just biased, but if I fully go into sidereal, then I'm kind of having to, would I not have to fully just embrace one or the other?
No, you're both.
What do you think?
You're on the cusp.
Okay, so now I'm just adding two.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm good with it then.
You're multifaceted.
I'm full sending it, dude. Full sending.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like Luisa's the same. She's on the cusp. My mom on the cusp also. So pretty interesting. I think that it just adds a couple extra layers, if nothing else.
Oh yeah, definitely. I like it, dude. I like it a lot.
I'm happy you didn't get rid of your Aquarius.
Oh, me
That's
too.
good.
Yeah, like I said, I think I'd be a little bit upset about that, but I think anybody would. Finding out that they're just some totally different sign.
I know.
It's like, holy shit.
I mean, I'm okay saying bye to Taurus because Aries seems a little bit more in line with what I think anyway.
Oh, shit.
Britt said, I'm Cancer and Leo, according to this. There you go. See, it's cool.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, anyway, like we said, you want to be able to come and join the show next week, then come out and check out patreon.com/metamysteries. Anyhow, with all of that being said, we're going to get over to the meditation. The only place to listen or watch the meditation is on Patreon. Nowhere else. Because we're not trying to get any copyright strikes, and also if you're listening to it on the podcast or you're listening to it on YouTube, there's a good chance that a commercial is going to interrupt your meditation, and nobody wants that, right? So you want to. That's why
Knocks
we say
you right out of it, dude.
Oh yeah, I mean, just forget it. Just go back to sleep and start the day over again at that point. So yeah, with that being said, come out and check us at Patreon. We appreciate everybody that does that, and we appreciate everybody here tonight. Yeah, it was a fun time. But look, if Sidereal Astrology came here and it taught you anything, it's that you don't know what you don't know. So don't just get weird.
Stay weird.
So we have the first chart that we're going to read. This one's for Nora. That is, we're not going to go into specifics as far as what your birthday and all that stuff was. We're just going to read what your new signs and all that stuff are. Or maybe they're not new. I don't know. Your sun sign would be Cancer. Though tropical calls her a Leo, the true sky places her sun in Cancer. So your core self is nurturing, protective, deeply intuitive, and family-centered. I kind of got that just by looking at you. Mm-hmm. Sensitive to energies around you, needs emotional security and connection. Okay. Your moon sign would be Sagittarius. So emotional world thrives on freedom, truth-seeking, and adventure. Feels at peace when exploring big ideas, traveling, or diving into philosophy, and balances Cancer's sun's need for home with Sagittarius's moon love of the horizon. Your rising would be Cancer. First impression is soft, nurturing, motherly, and empathetic. Your Mercury is also in Cancer, so communicates with sensitivity, empathy, and imagination. Your Venus would be in Gemini, so you love nature, possibly love nature. You're curious, playful, and intellectually driven. Your Mars is in Gemini, so drive and willpower come through. You have wit, adaptability, and cleverness. Quick thinker, multitasker, and sometimes restless energy. Your Jupiter's in Scorpio, meaning expansion through deep transformation, mystery, and hidden truths. Your Saturn would be in Aquarius. Lessons revolve around collective responsibility, friendships, and vision for humanity. Your Rahu, so your North Node, would be in Libra. So this would mean soul growth is about partnership, balance, fairness, and harmony. It says she's here to learn collaboration and the art of diplomacy. Your South Node, or Ketu, would be in Aries. So past life comfort zone is independence and warrior-like self-focus. Good for you.
Solid.
Damn right.
What's that? Yeah, you said damn right. I like it. So your overall vibe, it says Nora is a Cancer double, meaning your sun and rising are both in Cancer with a Sagittarius moon, a heart that longs for both deep roots and wild wings. She's both nurturing and philosophical, equally at home caring for loved ones and chasing wisdom. Strong Gemini placements with Venus and Mars make her lively, witty, and curious in love and action. With Rahu in Libra, this lifetime is about learning partnership as a spiritual path. There you go.
Interesting.
That is, does that check out, Nora?
Yeah, that pretty much checks out. And honestly, I'm surprised that there are no Leos in this one.
Do you feel like a show off, Leah? Or Nora, rather?
A little bit, yeah. But at least I'm not as much of a bitch as I thought. More emotional, less bitch.
There you go.
Sometimes they're interchangeable, some would say. Just kidding. So, all right, Shauno, you ready for yours, sir?
Oh, absolutely.
So,
I've
Sean,
been waiting.
it's saying that your sun, it's so it does say that you were on the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius. For this reading, it's calling you a Capricorn, though.
Okay, let's do it.
So Sean's sun remains in Capricorn. This gives him ambition, discipline, and a focus on responsibility. He shines through persistence and structure. Your moon would be in Aries. So it changed in, so your moon would traditionally be in Taurus via tropical, but in sidereal, it's now in Aries. So it says this is a big change. The midpoint, Sean's moon falls in Aries. Emotionally, this makes him fiery, instinct-driven, and quick to act. Instead of seeking emotional stability from the Taurus moon, he feels most alive when he's pushing forward, taking risks, or acting decisively. Interesting.
Yeah.
Your rising sign would be Leo. Bold, noticeable, and charismatic in his presentation. Leo rising makes him confident, radiant, and someone who naturally draws attention.
Oh, all right.
I would actually say that that's how you are in real life. On the show, you're
I'm a little more reserved.
You're more
on the
reserved,
show, you
yeah.
know? Yeah, because I want to get the information. I want to be as accurate as we can, you know? But yeah, when I walk in a room, dude, I'm usually the biggest dude in the room. So, like, it's kind of hard not to, cause attention.
well, you're also, you got a fun personality too. Your Mercury would be in Aquarius. So you still got a little Aquarius in there. So innovative thinker, independent, unconventional communicator. Relationships thrive when intellectual freedom is honored.
Unconventional communicator.
Unconventional.
Definitely.
Yeah. Your Venus is also in Aquarius. So Venus falls into Aquarius. Sean loves in a more detached, intellectual, and freedom-loving way. His romantic style values independence, friendship, and progressive ideals rather than purely spiritual/mystical love.
Interesting.
Okay. And by the way, I don't know how accurate this is. I plugged it into ChatGPT because it was like the quickest way and the freest way.
Right.
So the next one would be your Mars was in Aquarius, your Jupiter is in Aquarius. It says your growth comes through big picture ideas, social innovation, and forward-thinking collaboration. Your Saturn is in Scorpio, so your karmic lessons remain tied to emotional depth, hidden truths, and transformation. Family and inner world themes may feel heavy, but ultimately strengthen you. Your Rahu is in Pisces, so your karmic path is to embrace spirituality, surrender, and embrace mysticism. All right.
All right.
He is meant to dissolve boundaries and trust in the unseen.
All
That's
a
right.
big one. That's a big one. All
Yeah,
right.
that's Rahu. So that's the head of the dragon. That's
Yeah.
to come.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's never satisfied, right?
Never satisfied. Always wanting more.
That's starting to make sense.
Your Ketu, so the dragon's tail, would be in Virgo. So your karmic past is tied to order, practicality, and detail. Your soul already knows the ways of analysis and control, but growth lies in release and spiritual trust.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So your core true sidereal themes, your Capricorn sun, meaning grounded, ambitious, and builder of legacy. Your Aries moon is instinctual and quick to act. Your Leo rising would mean you're charismatic, noticeable, and inspiring presence. Your Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter, all three of them in Aquarius, meaning you love freedom, you think innovatively, and grow through collective ideals. Saturn is in Scorpio, meaning emotional karmic death and psychological resilience. And Rahu is in Pisces, spiritual destiny and mystical evolution. So
that's cool. I like it.
That's pretty sweet. I like it.
Maybe at some point, we can get like professionally done charts, that'd be really cool. But I can't argue with a lot of that for sure.
Well, we're going to get Athen on the show soon.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think that, and he'll do our charts for us.
Okay.
So it'll be pretty sweet.
All right.
For me, my sun is in, I'm not going to read all of mine, but my sun is in Aries. So, my sun is in Aries. This makes you, pioneering and forward moving, someone who leads by action, not by waiting. Aries sun energy is bold, instinctual, and always craving the next frontier. I like it. My moon is Virgo. Instead of purely relational and harmony seeking, your emotional core is much more detail-oriented, analytical, and service-driven. You find security in structure, discernment, and being of use to others. Relationships still matter deeply, but you approach them with a practical lens. What you looking like that? Mercury in Aries. So quick-witted, sharp, blunt, and direct. You think and speak like a warrior with fire and conviction. My challenge would be slowing down enough to avoid clashes, but my gift would be cutting straight through the noise. I like it.
No beating around the bush, man.
No, not at all. My Venus is in Pisces. You experience love as transcendent, mystical, and soulful, compassionate, imaginative, and spiritual in romance. You attract deep connections, but must guard against illusions. Yeah. My Mars is in Aquarius. Your drive is toward freedom, innovation, and collective transformation. You resist conformity and thrive on changing systems rather than maintaining them. I like that. Jupiter in Gemini. Okay, I'm not going to read through all of them. I do want to read the Rahu and Ketu ones, though. So the Rahu is in Capricorn. Your karmic path is still toward responsibility, structure, and worldly achievement. All right. You're meant to step into leadership, authority, and practical building. My past life would be Ketu is in Cancer. Your past life tendencies remain in emotional attachment and nurturing. You know comfort and protection well, but your growth lies in moving forward toward outer achievement. So, yeah, pretty interesting. I like it. I feel like
nobody else has their information up, so I don't think.
Yeah, I guess not. All right. Well, yeah, I guess it's meditation time then, baby.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. That was an interesting
Come back
one.
and everybody's just asleep.
Yeah, I kind of drifted off into the ether on that one, sir.
Yeah, dude. I was thinking about just going there. Like I felt like I could have just drifted into the dream world.
Yeah, that was a good one. I felt like my face was melting in that one, actually.
Yeah, you were truly letting go, my good sir. I was contemplating a little bit in there. You know how we were going over some of the future predictions of, spirituality and what's possible. And then I think we had brought up like telepathy at just a brief moment there. And I started to think of like, the, what is it called? The telepathy tapes, right? And and I don't know what I fully think on that, but they did talk about the hill, I believe it was, where all of these kids would kind of meet up and they are all aware of this place that they can meet up to, and I don't know. I think that that's something that's maybe possible, as far as like going into a dream state and meeting up with people, or a group of people, or anyone that's really in tune and actually putting attention on going to said place. And then I was thinking like this place, because usually your dream, when you're in a world within your dream, this place is constructed by you, by your subconscious, by your brain. And so this hill place, like whose place is that? Is that just the place of consciousness itself, or like, what I mean? Who's constructing this place that they're all able to meet up at?
Yeah.
I don't know. My brain just started to go to weird places. Basically.
Well, it's not that crazy whenever you look into those people. I can't remember what their names are now, but the people that were remote viewing, and you remember the story that we talked about, how there was, the two different guys in the two separate rooms. They were not even trying to correlate anything, but they were remote viewing, and they thought that they were like talking to each other. Yeah. And then afterward, without even sharing stories, they shared the stories with the mediator. Right. And they both perfectly aligned to where they were actually linked up via remote viewing. I don't know I think they were on another planet. They were talking to some being. This being had a name that they both agreed on. They both agreed on exactly how he looked, exactly what he said, exactly how he spoke, the terrain of which they were looking around. And there's something to it, bro. And I would love to dude, we should try that sometime.
Absolutely. I almost thought it was going to happen. Like in my mind, I was believing that was possible, but then I started to think, okay, if we end up in some world, right, in this dreamlike state, in this lucid dreamlike state, whose world would it be? Would it be yours? Would it be mine? Would it just be, something that already exists and we kind of just go there? I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it'd be shared at that point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, is this my world or is it your world?
Both.
Well,
I don't know.
You're in my world now, Grandma.
And then I started to think, whenever you take psilocybin and you end up in the treehouse, that's the treehouse for the waking world, and then lucid dreaming is the treehouse of the dream world. Because now you're aware within that place and you're able to do whatever you want and fly or whatever, so.
Yeah. There seems to be a lot less limitations everywhere else except here.
Yep. Exactly.
But yeah. And if you go back and you listen to like Dolores Cannon talk, that's what she says, that, Earth is a school, and everybody that comes here, like everybody that, all the, the spirits or the angels or the other beings or whatever, they all like, are like, wow, you guys had some balls to go down and do that. They're just impressed.
Balls on this one. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think we need another Dolores Cannon show here soon. Oh, by the way, we got Lord Byron coming on Monday night, and he's bringing one of his magical buddies again, and awesome. That's gonna be sweet. I love those. He's whenever he brought J.S. Garrett and El the Alchemist.
Super fascinating.
Loved them both.
Mind blown.
So
mind blown. Yes.
So
absolutely.
Lord Byron's the fucking man.
He cracks me up, dude. I love that guy.
Dude, one of my favorite people of all time.
He's just so funny.
Dude, he's such a character. Like, he's a comic character, bro. Like, that's honestly like the way I look at him. I'm like, are you an archetype of my mind? Or you know what I'm saying?
The
like,
magician that you meet. Yeah, dude.
Honestly.
No shit.
So yeah,
that's
love Byron. He'll be coming on Monday night, so that'll be a fun one. But yeah, I guess we will wrap her on up right there. Oh, Nora said, hey, meditating at 11:11. We started at 11:11.
There it is.
My time. That would be 9:11 your time.
Right.
But interesting. All right. Well, I guess we will wrap it up right there. And we love you guys, and thank you for joining us, and we'll see you all on the flip side.
Bye, guys.